Good morning, Damon. Thank you for joining us today on Business Spotlight series. Damon is the CEO of Dunbartonshire Chamber of Commerce, and the Chamber's mission is to engage with members and the wider business community to develop a strong network that will help business thrive in the area. Damon, can you tell us a little bit more of what you do?
Yeah, well, in a nutshell, obviously I'm the Damon Scott. I'm the Chief Executive of Dunbartonshire Chamber of Commerce, and as you've summed up very succinctly, what we aim to do, we do have a purpose statement, which is to make a positive impact on our local economy and communities. So all the work that we undertake, and me myself undertake, is aiming to fulfill that purpose and those objectives. In terms of what we do, that's a whole mix of benefits, from the built-in benefits, as I call them, from tax, HR, legal, and health and safety helplines and hundreds of documents, all the way through to events, showcase events, networking events, knowledge transfer events, as well as a load of partnership working that we do. We led the Loves Local campaign, which is a shop local campaign in the area, and work with our partners like education sector, and very much sort of push that business engagement and join the dots to ensure our partners and businesses can get good opportunities to grow and thrive.
That sounds very, very good. So, Damon, roughly how many members do you have to date?
We've got, it depends how you break them down, but we've got about 2,000 virtual members. So they're businesses and individuals that we contact online. We put together regular communications. We've just run a Business and Resilience Festival, for instance, which was opened up to all of our virtual members, and that was mainly online events across January and February to help businesses in the current sort of challenges that they're facing, and to try and get them into sort of planning and growth opportunities and business support opportunities through our partners. So yeah, there's about 2,000, and we've got a couple of hundred in our core membership. But the chamber's about much more than just the membership. Obviously, the members can get access to those benefits that I mentioned to you, and a lot of them will join just for those benefits, whilst others will come along to some of the events that we run.
Very good. What many businesses across different industries are finding difficult to recruit. What are your thoughts on the current employment situation in the area?
Yeah, well, it's probably not too dissimilar from other areas. I think as a sort of country and nation, we do have a skills gap. So there's definitely a tough environment out there, and it's extremely competitive. I would very much say it's a seller's market at the moment, and from our feedback, there's real challenges for businesses to attract the right people to work for them, and we all know about the sort of competition in that area. Particularly with wage competition, I think it can be quite difficult to get the right people for your business. So I think that's very similar to the situation in most parts of the country. But what we are trying to do is try and encourage businesses to think about it differently. So if you can't compete on wage, are there other things you can do to become the employer of choice, or looking at other benefits and maybe sort of cultural shifts in your organization to attract people to join you and to stay with you?
Yeah, wow, very good. So Damon, with COVID, how the chamber had to change the way they were doing things to cope with how COVID changed basically society and the way people did business?
Yeah, well, I think fairly obviously, we had to move very quickly to respond to the move online of everyone pretty much. So we did that pretty effectively, and were, I think, fortunate as a smaller business to be able to be very agile and respond very quickly to put in place this support for businesses. We started our Together for Business campaign, which was very much to support businesses through the crisis. Obviously, we've hit a new crisis with the war in Ukraine, and the cost crisis that we're in at the moment. So we're trying to continue that work. I mentioned there Growth and Resilience Festival, for instance. So yeah, we just to give you an example, we were running daily drop-in sessions. We were running knowledge transfer session forums twice a week, and we were bringing our network of experts in to provide free expert advice to help businesses respond to the challenges they were facing and to fill the huge knowledge gaps at that point, and even to the extent that we had a lot of our amazing community coming and offering free support to IT companies, helping people get online, deal with broadband issues, etc., as well as the expert advice, which ranged everything through from occupational health right through to employment law and contracts and furlough, etc.
Okay, that shows a lot of commitment from the chamber. Are you still offering the drop-in sessions, or that's come to an end because we are back to normality?
Not quite normality, but a different landscape, I would say. The online kind of events and activity, obviously at the beginning of the year we had a bit of a spike, but we will be moving. We'll definitely retain that as an important part of our business, but in terms of the frequency and the move to face-to-face in-person events will become much more prevalent in the coming year. But I think we're now changed forever in terms of the way we work, and continuing to offer the convenience of reaching a much wider market through the online activity that we undertake.
Very good. Damon, can you share with us maybe some of the biggest issues you've had to overcome running the chamber, which will resonate with business owners running their businesses?
So in terms of the issues, I would say that you'll find that every business has very similar challenges. So for us, it was about having certainty and being surrounded by change and unpredictability. And I think that's very much a focus for us to sort of recognize that we're in a much more sort of unstable environment going forward, and that I think that absolutely resonates for other businesses as well. So and we may come on to talk about this, but obviously I touched on the importance of planning, and would say that the core of a successful business is very much having a strong strategy and plan in place. And I guess now even more than ever, it's about having that plan, having agility built in to that plan is probably the biggest element that I think we would have to sort of build in to overcome any future challenges, because it's still a very rocky road and there's still loads of uncertainty out there. So we, like any other businesses, will need to respond to the changing environment.
Planning and strategizing, that's like music to my ears. I always say, well, we know this mantra that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. What does the future look like, and what do you see as the main challenges for businesses moving forward in 2023 and beyond?
Well, I guess I don't know if I can remember the quote correctly, but there's a famous quote about not wasting a good crisis sort of thing. So my view is that there are always winners and losers in crises, and particularly coming out of crises, because my view is it's very much survival of the fittest, and having a fit business will put you in a much stronger position when things do hopefully return to a bit more of a normal and sort of stable position, with the growth opportunities. But at the same time, I think we very much have the view that even in the short to medium term, there are still going to be opportunities for us and for our businesses. It's just very much about having that structure in place that you can identify them, prioritize where you think those are going to be, and make the right business decisions to be ready to kind of grasp those opportunities with both hands.
Very good. When you say the survival of the fittest, I heard somebody say that the fittest is not the strongest or the cleverest or the one with most money or resources, but the one who adapts to the new environment. Yeah.
Absolutely. And actually, having been through it as a business owner myself, there are new opportunities so I used to run a marketing consultancy and brand and digital agency, and lots of doors opened during sort of downturns because the customer base were looking to maybe cut costs and would open up to smaller businesses. So I think that would be one thing I would say to businesses, that there's definitely opportunity out there, whatever your size.
Yes, wonderful. What are your aspirations for the chamber in the next 5 years?
I think aspirationally, I think we're looking to add a whole new range of services and benefits. Everything through from first aid training and bought-in requirements that keep businesses compliant, as well as developing a whole growth hub as part of our offering, and developing our commercial arm a lot more, quite often in partnership. We know our membership's got an absolutely amazing wealth of talent and expertise, so we're embracing that and trying to build them right into that, because at the end of the day, our members doing business benefits our local economies and community, and benefits our membership, and adds the value, and adding value to our membership by doing these undertaking these new services and products, and also adding value through the membership, or communicating the value of the membership, is going to be absolutely key to us going forward. The likes of the built-in benefits that I mentioned, the legal, HR, health and safety, and tax, one use of that of a year could pay for your many businesses membership. So it's very much about messaging, positioning, and expanding our range of services and benefits going forward.
Very good. I guess membership to the chamber, you don't have to be in a postcode to be a member. You could be based in any part of the country and still join the chamber if you are doing business there, or you want to do business with local.
Yes, absolutely. We have had members from international members. We've had members from Aberdeen and sort of towards the northeast of Scotland, right down to London and the southeast. So in the UK. So it's very much about an alignment with the benefits we can offer. Some businesses, as I say, just join to get the built-in benefits. So you can join our chamber, if you like, the way that we work, just the same way that you could join any chamber if you're not geographically motivated. Obviously, a strength is our local position, and as you've pointed out, it's not about being based in Dunbartonshire. Quite often, if the businesses are wanting to engage on a sort of in-person basis and do business in the area. That's where the motivation may lie, is just wanting to do business in an area. And we have had a conversation recently with someone actually, and the areas that aren't sort of as city centric and sort of densely populated in terms of business can be quite good fishing grounds for businesses, because there's a lot less competition, sort of thing. So like, if I'm speaking to a business, it's very much about whether you want to do business in the area, if it's to do with the in-person sort of contact.
How many businesses are registered in Dunbartonshire?
I need to check that. I think it's getting on for 10,000 across the east and west of Dunbartonshire, because we're split across 2 local authorities, and that ranges anything from sole traders and trades, business kind of experts, right up to the likes of big and well-known members, including Greco, Chivas, Cameron House, and Loch Lomond Golf Club, for instance.
So some big names there.
Yeah.
Very good. What do you have any news or offers that you would like to share on this recording for the audience that will be watching this?
Yes, well, certainly we're looking at making our membership more accessible. So we're looking at new packages. So please just get in touch, and I'm sure there's something we can do to add value. I mean, I think that the membership's incredibly good value, and we would we're looking to reshape that. So it might be more expensive for some things in the future, but if someone sees this video, we'll certainly give them a great value package that is available on the back of this.
Brilliant. I always like to finish with this question. What do you have any advice for your 18-year-old self?
Yes, I've thought. I mean, maybe it's an age thing. I guess you think about these things as you move through your sort of career and life. So, I would say that one of the things I follow your passions, because if you can actually make a passion your sort of work, then it's an incredibly positive position to be in. I mean, be kinder to yourself. I always pushed myself and thought I had to have a job and had to stick with a job. Maybe it's an old-fashioned view, but my view, sort of looking back, is, try whatever you fancy, especially when you're young. What's the worst that can happen? You don't like it, you move on. And I think someone once said to me, you may not actually find out what you want to do or enjoy doing until you actually do it. So they're all really important messages, I think, for people. And if you follow those, you can't really go very wrong.
That's brilliant. Well, follow your passion. Thanks for Damon for joining us today. It's been a real pleasure to have you on today on the Spotlight series, and for sharing your experience and wisdom today with us.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
You.